What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday to you. Jared Sandler with you for today's spring training update. The Rangers and Diamondbacks in action today, coming up later this afternoon from Salt River Fields. And by the way, I don't know if this is the year for people to make their trips to spring training, but if you've never been and you are planning on going, if you can get out to Salt River Fields, which is the home of the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, do it. It is one of the prettiest non-major league ballparks out there. There's some really cool sites within the Cactus League, and it might not be the best atmosphere. That could be Sloan Park where the Cubs play, or Scottsdale Stadium where the Giants play, but it certainly is a beautiful park, and that's where the Rangers are headed today. All right, Leody Taveras is in the lineup today, and so I want to talk to you about Leody. I'm going to take the gum out of my mouth quickly. I thought I'd be able to talk with the gum. Silly me. 1 second. Sorry. All right. Leody's in the lineup today. I've been teasing for a few days now a movie or a video about Leody, maybe talking a little bit about what he did last year, what the thoughts are for this year. So first of all, we saw a guy last year who came up at 21 years old and just didn't look overmatched. If his numbers this year are what they were last year, then that'd probably be a little disappointing, right? An OPS just over 700. But for a guy who made his first taste of the big leagues without any AAA experience, I mean, that was pretty impressive. He's fast. He plays defense well. He's a guy who will draw a walk. One thing he did last year that maybe we hadn't seen as much in his professional experiences, the swing and miss, the strikeout, going up through the minors. He was a high walk guy, really good bat to ball, didn't strike out as much, but the thoughts, the challenge the Rangers had was how to tap into the power that he clearly is capable of producing. And he actually showed a little more power. It came with a little more swing and miss. It seems like these days in baseball, yes, you can have more power without compromising swing and miss, but to some point, or at some point, usually it's a little bit of a give and take. And I think there's some players who want to get up to that point and maximize their power without compromising that. And there are other players who understand that maybe for them, it's better to compromise it just a little bit for more power. I think it'll be interesting to see what Leody can do without having to compromise that. He is a more traditional type of developer from a hitting standpoint. Because of the uppercut power era that we're in, there are guys who come up and they hit for power immediately. It used to be the thought was, well, hitters develop power as they get some experience. Power is the last thing to develop. And for the guys who have a more traditional approach, not this more new age uppercut, hit him high and hit him long approach, that still is the case. And I think that's the case for Leody. I think he's going to continue to develop his power as he gets older. Remember, this kid is only 22 years old. Last year, his sprint speed was among the top 20 in Major League Baseball for guys who were around his level of plate appearances or more. This is a guy for whom speed is a weapon. Defensively, this is a guy who has Gold Glove potential. Certainly the type of skill set to man what I think will be a tough center field at Globe Life Field just because of all the ground and the way the park plays. His jump, which is the ground covered as measured by Baseball Savant in the first 3 seconds of a player's pursuit, his jump covered top 10 in distance in Major League Baseball. He was right at number 10. He covered the 10th most distance in the first 3 seconds, which is impressive because his route running wasn't a negative, but wasn't a positive. His route running measured at 0.0, his route efficiency, which is to suggest that he didn't necessarily gain ground above average with his route running, but he didn't lose it either. He didn't gain ground beyond what the typical strong route was, but he didn't lose ground either. Route running, route efficiency appears to be something that isn't a negative, but something upon which he can improve. And you imagine that jump could improve along with it. One of the things from a hitting standpoint last year, the Rangers are likely going to have him or hope that he improves upon is hitting the off-speed stuff. He did a really nice job against fastballs last year. He really struggled against curveballs and changeups or breaking balls and changeups. He handled the changeup a little bit better as a left-handed hitter. And it wasn't really a thing where the breaking balls were something he handled well as a lefty or a righty. As a left-handed hitter, He handled the changeups a little bit better, and that kind of goes in line with where the Rangers feel like he's at as a hitter. I think the thought is more power from the right side against lefties, more, stronger foundational skills as a lefty against righties. Remember, he's a switch hitter. One of the things the Rangers are working on with him is his left-hand strength. Okay, so when you're a left-handed hitter, the left hand is your top hand. When you're a right-handed hitter, it's your bottom hand. I think the thought is that the right hand is the stronger hand for him. So as a lefty, it allows him to get through the zone better, but that drive to create power isn't as the potential isn't as high because that left hand strength isn't as strong. Whereas as a right-handed hitter, when the left hand is on the bottom, that's where he's got the right hand, his stronger hand on top. That's why he can produce more power as a righty against lefties, but maybe a better foundational hitter as a lefty against righties. So it's not something that we're going to be able to measure necessarily, but just kind of a state of where the Rangers are at with Leody, what they're working on. If you really want to get granular, they're working on his left hand strength, the strength of that left hand, the left arm, being able to generate power from the left side against righties, while also maintaining, that strong approach as a lefty, and then being able to get through the zone as a righty against lefties. He is a natural righty. He was naturally a right-handed hitter who learned to switch hit, but obviously, a switch hitter is probably going to spend a little more time as a lefty than a righty because you face more righties than you do lefties. And that's why, as has been the case for a lot of switch hitters, he's kind of overtaken as a left-handed hitter what strengths he had as a right-handed hitter just foundationally. So that's a little bit about what they're working on. As far as Leody's role, I asked John Daniels, what's a successful year for Leody? And, what JD said was whenever it is that he is a big leaguer, whether it's on opening day or if he doesn't make the opening day roster shortly thereafter, that whenever he is a big leaguer, he stays a big leaguer, that they don't have to send him down because he's overmatched, he's struggling. They're going to be growing pains, they're going to be bumps, but as he deals with those, he's able to do so in a competitive way, to which the Rangers don't feel like he's getting buried or drowning in some of the challenges and struggles. I think that Leody will play center field this year. That's a natural fit as far as spot in the order. We talked about this the other day. I think he very well could be the leadoff hitter on opening day. I think the Rangers also, and this is where I'm leaning right now, could take the approach of the kid's 22. Let's start him at the bottom of the order. Let's have him earn that leadoff spot. I mean, the Rangers are really big right now in earning things. And, I don't know if there's an obvious leadoff hitter on this team, but for Leody, maybe no need to thrust him into that pressure as the opening day center fielder, the opening day leadoff hitter. Let him ease his way into that. So I could see him starting the bottom of the order and then working his way towards the top. There you go. That's a little bit on Leody Taveras, the guy I'm maybe most excited to watch throughout the season from a progression standpoint when you consider the young players who will get major league time this year. The hope, the possibility is that the Rangers have their center fielder for years to come in Leody. All right, there you go. We'll talk to you later. Of course, you can always reach out to me at Jared Sandler on Twitter. Happy to answer your questions as best and as honestly as I can. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later.